Welcome to Save Par Golf Podcast, where two average golfers talk about golf and things. I'm your host, Eric.
I'm your host, Dominic.
In today's episode, we are switching it up a little bit. We are recording via Zoom from the Save Par Golf headquarters, along with the Save Par Golf Podcast headquarters. Dom, we're in episode 18. What a ride it's been, right?
Yeah, 18 is a little bit different than prior episodes. It feels like I'm interviewing you, which is weird.
I know, it's kind of different. Well, I was just going to hint on, we've had some awesome guests. We've interviewed several people, which has been awesome. I think it's gone really well. And, obviously we're normally in the Save Par Golf headquarters recording together, but now we're just adjusting, right? It's okay.
Yeah, I mean, nothing major. Should be good. Should be good to go next week. I don't know.
I think the sound will be okay, but if it does sound different to the listeners, that is why we're doing it via Zoom. So we are not in the same location at the moment, but we're going to make it work because we want to put out another episode, and we've got a lot to cover. Of course, with the reason why we are doing it via Zoom, and then obviously the Ryder Cup, which was absolutely fantastic. If you're a fan of the Team USA, granted, I'm a fan of both, but I mean, obviously with USA being American, it was quite a performance.
I have a little bit of a hot take about the Ryder Cup when we get there.
Awesome. I can't wait. And then, of course, we have, again, some NFL news. The Vikings, we're big Viking fans, so that was a huge W, beating Seattle.
It feels like the first time ever.
I think they said it was seven straight games Seattle's beat the Vikings. So that's that's 7 years unless
they were saying that
they played twice in 1 year, but normally they don't. They normally play once because they're different divisions.
Well, they were saying that this was the first time they've been here since 2015, which was the infamous left kick.
Blair Walsh. Yeah. We don't have to talk about that, but but it was a huge win. It was probably out of the first 3 games we've played, probably the one that we probably think that we wouldn't have won out of the 3 games, but we'll take it.
Yeah. No, I'm never going to say no to a win.
Yeah. Hopefully we can ride that streak. Cleveland's pretty solid. They kind of beat up on the Bears with Justin Fields. Myles Garrett absolutely went on a tear.
I like to see Baker do well. And I hate to see him do well against us, but I like Baker. I mean, they torched the Bears, but they also torched like the Bears with a rookie quarterback who's never started before.
Hey, he can do well as long as the Vikings end up with the W.
Yeah, I mean, he could go for like 600 yards and still take that L. I'd be happy.
Absolutely. That's what I'm saying. We need a big win. I think so. We play Cleveland. If we could tie up to 2-2, and then we play Detroit, which should be a W, but again, you never know. But that should be a W. You just never know. And then I think we play Sunday night against Dallas, which should be fun. That's at home.
Oh, that'd be cool.
So we got a lot to talk about, mainly Ryder Cup. But again, we'll just kind of hint on the Zoom. Dom had some car issues.
Oh, she's dead. She is dead. DED dead.
DE dead? DE?
Nope. DED dead.
Oh, okay. I'm a little too old for that verbiage.
My mom says it, so I might be too young for the verbiage.
But maybe. So what's her name again? Not your mom. The car. The car.
Wow, you're married.
Really?
My car's name is Bianca.
That was a terrible transition to asking me the name of your car, wasn't it?
My car's name is Bianca.
For some reason, I wanted to say Thelma. I don't know why.
Ooh, that would have been a good one.
Yeah, maybe you can resurrect it. Maybe it's gonna be called Thelma.
No, it'll still be Bianca because it's still her. It's still her body. She just has new guts.
She's getting some new guts, engine.
Oh yeah,
a newer engine. Yeah. So Dom had some car issues.
It's actually the same issues. Really. Same year engine, just a little bit younger. A little bit more spring in its step.
A little less miles.
Yeah. Not that I had a whole lot of miles to begin with, but
sure.
Things happen. We're on Zoom. What can you do about it?
That is the advances of technology nowadays, though. There really isn't a whole lot of excuses to make for making a podcast or recording an episode when they have Zoom or any, FaceTime even. But the Zoom actually doesn't really sound too bad. So I think So I think a 1 week Zoom call won't be too bad for
hopefully
podcast.
hopefully it's just 1 week. I guess we'll find out later this week what the verdict is, but
only time will tell. But again, I think it'll be just a transition. We'll get back to it. Sorry, my phone is like literally covering the whole video Zoom, so I apologize. I'm just trying to I have some notes here, but so first off, we'll jump right into it. The Ryder Cup is pretty much kind of what I wanted to talk about. We won in a dominant fashion. I don't think, as far as a USA winning, that was the biggest win by the lead. It was 19-9, which was crazy, which was awesome. And it was in Whistling Straits in Wisconsin. That course, I think I would shoot a 200 to 220 if I was playing it.
If you're shooting 200s, I'm quitting after the first one, and then I'm on beer
picking
duty.
Up the ball and just beer duty.
I'm on beer duty.
I like that. What was your take? I know so Ryder Cup is something that I love watching. Happens every 2 years. But for me, I really didn't get to watch as much as I wanted to. I mean, I did watch some, and I watched some highlights, but I was for having a podcast and being Save for Our Golf podcast. It's a little disappointing that I didn't get to watch nearly as much as I wanted to. But again, I did get to see the victory and follow some of it. How about you?
I did see Justin Thomas shotgun that beer. That was pretty cool.
That was so crazy. I mean, it's fantastic. It's awesome to see.
I mean, I loved that Spieth shot right up the hill. Like,
it's got to be one of the best shots in
unreal.
As far as like Ryder Cup history, I don't know about the greatest shot of all time, but it's got to be up there in recent years. I mean, that in the magnitude of, like, no knock to Justin Thomas because he played well, but unfortunately he couldn't make that 6-footer. But the fact that he hit that shot is incredible.
Pro.
No, me neither.
Yeah,
you can't even see the golf ball. I couldn't even see it. It was buried. And I literally thought he was going to need some arm floaties for a second.
I mean, I've hit a bunker shot like that where I was like, okay, I think the ball's here and it should pop straight up and go. And it went.
You just parry it? Oh
no, it was like a big hill. So it's like you would stand in the bunker and kind of go up.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, I just got to hit it. And I hit it and I went up, and it wasn't like that great of a shot, but I was up at least. That shot is just unreal. And for him not to go in the water, I thought was super cool. I saw a little bit of the Brooks drama, but I don't really understand what he was all pissed off about.
I did watch a little bit of that too. I actually caught that live, but I kind of picked it up a little late. But it sounded like he was, so again, couldn't see the golf ball, but it sounded like there was some sort of drainage spot of some sort that was really near the ball. And he was trying to say that, his club coming down probably is going to hit that. And so like there was speculation of him saying, hey, can I move this ball? Yeah. And then basically he, it was a good 15 minutes of conversation, and they kept on calling a couple other officials. And then one of the officials basically said, no, you're going to play it as it lies. And clearly Brooks wasn't happy with that. And
I mean,
all the memes kind of came out of nowhere. I don't blame him as far as like the whole wrist thing, because he had an injury and all that. Yeah. But at the same time, like,
I mean, if Shooter can play it off Frankenstein's fat foot, Brooks should be able to play it off the little grate. I don't know, because you see guys hit up the cart path all the time.
If someone was on TV, they should have yelled something like that. Like from the ropes.
The last thing you want is me heckling you, because it gets real bad.
Oh, Bobby was out there. He was doing a good job. Brilliantly Dumb. Shout out Brilliantly Dumb. Of course, he was out there. I'm sure he had a good time. It looked like it. The course looked pure. It looked like hard as hell, though. I mean,
I couldn't even imagine like going there and being like, yeah, I'm going to shoot par today. Not a chance. No, none. If I shot par there, I would retire and I'd go play the lottery. I
think we should definitely try to get that set up where we can go play around and just see what we would shoot.
Oh, I don't even want to know.
I mean, it wouldn't be good. We would need to load up on some golf balls. Maybe we can load up on some Odin golf balls.
Wait a little bit more than golf.
Some our way.
We might need some pops too.
Yeah, I can see some pops for sure. I'm trying to
I
think of what
did.
else was.
I did really like. I liked
Oh, go ahead, sir.
watching Bryson just paired up with anybody from Europe. I mean, nobody. Him hitting the golf ball, I think, made the entire weekend.
I think he gained so much respect from people, especially obviously on the USA side. Just dominant fashion of him just like piping the ball, like on Sunday where he teed it up on hole number 1 and drove the green, and then he followed up with making the eagle putt. I mean, he literally just backed everything up, and he's an emotional player. Like a lot of those guys, it's you're playing for your country, right? And
He's showing that he's so much more than a long driver. Granted, he does hit the ball super far, and there are times where he's not accurate, but he's showing that he can be accurate. And then when he is accurate, we know we can putt. But I mean, just seeing like his line compared to everybody else's line, like he's just going.
That's
for
right.
It, right?
Scotty Scheffler's line and Bryson's line was like Scotty's still in the middle of the fairway, but way in the other direction, like the direction you're supposed to hit it, and Bryson's totally cutting corners. And no, I think he gained a lot of respect. Obviously, the Brooks and Bryson drama was squashed, at least for now. They hugged it out, which was good to see. I'm really glad that is. I mean, it was fun, the drama while lasting. Again, it might come back again. You never know. It certainly could. But it was really cool that Team USA even kind of shed light on it as far as like JT wearing that T-shirt, like the Step Brothers T-shirt. So I really like that they kind of embraced it and hugged it out. DJ, Dustin Johnson, he 5 matches, won all 5 matches. This guy's a stud.
When he's healthy, he's hard to beat. That's not even just like in the Ryder Cup, but even on tour. Like when he's right and he's mentally there, I think it's hard to beat him. And that's like with Rom being the world number 1 right now, and
he's number 2 right behind him. But yeah, I think he could be number 1 if he's healthy, like you said.
If he tried hard enough every match he played or every round, whatever, I think he'd still be number 1. But obviously injuries come into play, whether he plays or not comes into play. But
I'd love to hang out with him. He just seems like the funniest. Like he's like super funny, but not on purpose.
Do you think he's
just his interviews and everything else? Like I've gotten nothing but vibes from him that he's just hilarious, but in this like nonchalant way.
Do you think he's like a Michael Scott type of funny, where it's like super dry?
It could be. Like I said, I don't know if. I think he's funny without him even realizing he's even funny. Like some of his press conferences afterwards, it was just like, you could tell he had a couple of 13, 14s in him, but his commentary was hilarious.
I love all the memes now because they all wear that Whoop thing, which tells how well you sleep and everything.
Yeah.
Which is funny. My old area manager had one, was trying to get us all into it. And I'm like, no, I don't need to know how bad I recover or whatever. And they're like, oh yeah, 1%. And you're just like, you party hard, I guess.
They had a great night.
Well deserved though.
Well deserved. Go ahead there.
Yeah, my hot take.
Yeah, I want to hear your hot take on that. Was it on the Ryder Cup?
Yeah. So I know it's like for your country and everything, but I guess I don't really care if the USA wins or not. Just because like you just see great golf, right? Like we could lose, but you still see, Sergio do well. You see everybody from Europe do well. Even if we do lose, chances are Team USA does well. But if we lost, I wouldn't lose any sleep over it.
Yeah, I feel on that. I think it's just it's a tournament that is pretty rare in the game of golf. So I can see why it gets so much hype built up behind it. And that's kind of a good point, because one of my takes was that I think that the PGA Tour should host like a 2-man tournament once a year. I mean, everyone whether you're from a different country or from the United States, it's like a brotherhood there, regardless of where you're from, and those guys play in so many tournaments together. So odds are, whether you're paired up with them or not, you're still gonna hit balls, practice, probably grab breakfast or whatever it is. You're gonna run into these guys. So I think it'd be really cool, somewhere on the PGA Tour where they have a kind of a 2-man tournament, and maybe they split, not necessarily do like American and some other, but just in general, maybe they do it off of like rankings or something, where like number 1 gets paired up with, They do 50 guys, top 50, 51, 49. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Something like that, where it would be kind of cool to see, and even maybe do some of that commentary stuff where they got some more hype behind it. But I do think that it gets a lot of attention because it happens every 2 years and on U.S. soil, and so it is a big deal. But yeah, I mean, I'm not like going to lose sleep if Europe wins. However, obviously, I want to see USA win. I mean, there's so many good Europeans out there. And like,
sure.
I was kind of surprised that they won in that fashion as far as the USA winning. I mean, they were played lights out. Rory is one of my favorite all-time golfers. And you even saw his press conference after Sunday. I mean, he started tearing up and kind of crying. And he's not, like he said, he's not really an emotional guy. He's never really cried after a win. And the guy's won multiple major championships, multiple tournaments. And you can tell it means a lot to these players because you're not playing only for yourself, you're playing for the team. And I think that means a lot to every one of the players. So it's kind of a pretty cool. That is a good question. I believe they do. I don't know what the money and what that's all about. That's a good thing to look up. If you have a stats guy, if we could type up our stats guy, that's out of the Save Park Golf podcast nest somewhere over there.
It's literally just me. It's just me and my shoes.
Oh yeah, I can see the shoes. Nice.
And
what are you rocking? What kind of is that a hoodie or what do you got? What kind of shirt is that?
It's one of the Weekends merch from his.
Oh, nice.
After.
Okay, I was just say I couldn't really see what it would look like. Some cool graphic, but I couldn't tell what it was.
I feel like he made it when he was on acid or something. It's kind of out there, so I don't wear it very often because I feel like people look at me kind of funny.
That's why I was looking at you funny.
I know. I could feel it.
I just got in runners. I'm wearing a t-shirt. I'm just lame. I'm wearing just a gray t-shirt. Sipping my Kirkland Aquafina.
I can't find like. Oh, okay.
Here,
So for Team USA, the PGA gives each member of the squad $200,000.
Oh, nice. And then I'm sure they get some sort of bonuses or something, right? Or incentives if they win.
That money is not for personal use. They must give it to a good cause. Half the funds go to the Boys and Girls Club of America, Drive, Chip, and Putt Championship, and PGA Junior Golf League, while the remaining $100,000 must be given to a charity of the player's choosing. So
I like that.
It sounds like they're playing for, personal reasons, for country, and then for charity.
I like it. I like it a lot. What were your thoughts on some of the funny memes out there with the Ryder Cup? Was there one that stuck out the most to you? I had a couple.
The one you posted with Bryson as Carlos from The Hangover.
Oh yeah. That was.
I love the one.
Yeah, most of them are kind of the Hangover edition.
There's the one where it's like my wife,
baby Bryson,
like my wife and stealing the fries or whatever.
With the Paul Casey and
because I really wanted to repost it, but I just ran out of time, and I wanted to say me stealing your fries, even though I said I'm done. Because whenever we go get wings, that's what happens.
At the 19th Society, man, that guy's just rapid fire with memes. I love.
Oh, good.
I don't know if it's before your time, but I posted the one yesterday with him, Colin Morikawa and Dustin Johnson. It's a skit. It's a skit from Saturday Night Live with Will Ferrell and I want to say Sherry O'Terry, but I don't know if it's her. It could be someone else. But
so anything with Will Ferrell on Saturday Night Live is before my time.
Yeah, I kind of figured that. I just didn't know if maybe did a little. They have the best of Will Ferrell on Saturday Night Live. You should check that out. It's hilarious. Back in the day, Saturday Night Live was so good, and I don't really watch it ever anymore. But man, it was fantastic. So many good actors came from there, and comedians.
Yeah,
but that was probably one of my favorite ones. I like that one, and the baby Bryson with Brooks holding him with the Hangover losing the Ryder Cup trophy.
I also like the one where it's like, "Hey, Paulina, we lost DJ."
Yeah,
I was
I
like,
could see DJ getting lost.
he's probably like, as soon as he takes off like all of his golf attire, he's just one of the boys. I bet.
Oh, 100%.
Because he
100%.
comes out and looks all super serious, and I bet you as soon as all that comes off, he's just a bro.
Yeah, I think most of those dudes are, to be honest. I
What
think
kind
most
of
of those are just there for a good time.
what kind of beer do you think he drinks? Like Brooks has his Michelob Ultra, which is the very frat boy type of beer for him to drink.
I'm gonna say he's gonna go probably with like a light beer. I don't think he's like an IPA kind of guy. Although I mean, maybe he is, but I don't think so. I think he's more of like a light beer.
Like a Bud Light or something.
Probably.
Yeah,
I would think like I could see like JT being an IPA guy,
probably.
maybe Jordan Spieth.
Probably. Although he's from Texas, so maybe not.
Yeah, he might not.
Although they were in Wisconsin, so maybe it's all Leinenkugel.
They're in Scotty.
They get all
Have
the
you
planning.
have you been out to like Kohler, Wisconsin, or like you're like Milwaukee in that area? Have you been out there before?
Technically yes. Reality no.
Okay.
I had a flight and we landed in Milwaukee, but I never got off the plane. So it's like I've been to Milwaukee, but I couldn't
Didn't really
tell
get
you
to
what's in
experience it.
Milwaukee. Yeah.
So the next venue is 2023, which will be in Italy. Marco
Ooh.
Simone Golf and Country Club in
We
Rome,
going?
Italy. So yeah, let's go.
We going?
I'm actually right now. I'm booking the tickets right now. I'm booking the flights right now. That sounded inappropriate. I was like, sounded like I dropped some f bombage right there. It was my lips are.
I'll just mark it as explicit.
Yeah, it was unintentional. I'm sitting here just trying to read. 2025 is Bethpage Black in New York, so that's where it's coming back next. So that would be pretty
Never
sweet.
been to New York, so I'm down.
New York is awesome. Granted, I haven't been over where by Bethpage Black. I haven't been over there. I've been pretty much just down in Manhattan, which I love. But so yeah, 2 more years, we'll get to see it in Rome, Italy. Again, it's a lot different. I do think I did kind of hear Sergio Garcia. He's one of those guys that I wasn't a huge fan of growing up, but I've actually really enjoyed him. I like him a lot now, and I've come to like really respect his game. I think he's a really good golfer, but I, I've seen so many times that he just looked like he had a bad attitude. He just like pissed off all the time. And he was just kind of like a jerk to people. But from what I've read and what I've heard, he's actually a really genuine dude and nice guy. And so I guess being that I never really met him, I got to kind of take it at that. But
He puts a lot of emotion.
yeah, which you got to respect, right? Because I mean, it's like if you're playing any sport, I mean, you're competing to win. So obviously, playing a football or basketball game, your emotions might be a little different just because of the energy levels, but you're still, focused in your.
Yeah. I mean, golf is very interpersonal to where like basketball, football, it's a team. Granted the Ryder Cup, it's a team, but a majority of golf you're by yourself. So I think the struggles are a little bit different where you can't vocalize it out to anybody other than your caddy. And
basketball and football too, it's so quick paced. So there's really not a whole lot of time to think, where golf, I mean, you're staring at the ball, you're analyzing things. There's a lot more concentration and, like you said, mental aspect to it.
I know the only real great people I have on Sergio, like recently, like a couple of my buddies are like, oh, he got mad and he beat up the bunker or whatever. I'm like, don't you guys?
98% of amateur golfers do something stupid like that.
I'm like, that's like getting mad at them for grounding their club. I'm like, don't you ground your club when you hit the bunker? There's like a double standard. Yeah. It's like a double standard. Like you can't get mad at him for doing something that you do. Like you're telling me
you can, just shouldn't be a hypocrite about it.
Well, right. Or you shouldn't vocalize it.
I agree with you. But yeah, back to what I was kind of saying. Sergio's wife was saying when they came here at Hazeltine, there was a lot of foul language and I don't want to say like verbally abusive, but there was a lot of that going on. I could totally see that. I mean, Minnesota nice, we're nice, but people travel from all over the world for this tournament.
That's kind of where
What's that?
That's kind of where it's like you see the videos of everybody like, pounding beers at like 7 a.m. and hooting and hollering. And I'm like, man, if somebody says one thing wrong, it looks bad on not them, but like the entire country. Cause you're like, if you go to this event, you're an extension of the United States, right? Whether that's here, if we do go to Italy, which like you better talk your wife into letting you go because I'm down.
He's so
But
sick.
like, we're an extension of the US where, if you start bad mouthing, these great players like Rory and Sergio or, even Hideki, they're not going to come. And then you're not going to see them play, which is
Or
half
if
the
they
fun.
do, you're not going to see him play because you're going to get kicked out.
Well, if they
There's
catch
that
you,
too.
yeah,
Yeah, that's
it's
true.
like
But it's
the whole point of
just
it
a
is
sign of respect. It's like you can heckle
Yeah.
people and like you can like talk smack, but there's a line that you have to kind of draw.
Yeah, and I think Bobby does it very well to where it's not like a mean heckle, but it's like, hey, nice pink shirt today, buddy. And the
Yeah,
guy's just like kind of breaks his concentration, like stuff like that. It's not like, oh, good shot, like blah blah blah. I'm like, you go hit it then.
Bubba Bobby does a really good job at that. Yeah, I don't know what's up with me. I'm thinking Bubba for some reason, Bubba Watson, but Bobby does a really good job with the heckles because it's all in good fun, like you said, which is kind of what it's all about. It's like I'm all for heckling, and this is your turf. They're on your turf. Like, let it be known and cheer for USA. I love it, and it's crazy that some of these. It's fun to see that. I mean, realistically, the only other tournament that you can kind of do that in an atmosphere is at the Waste Management Open, which is, it's obviously a lot different, but at the same time, like you can drink and, people are lined up at 3-4 in the morning to get into the through the doors.
Party hole.
And I mean, it's like, I wonder, some of these guys probably didn't even sleep. Or if they did, they just went on a full bender of like 4 straight days of just drinking, which my liver could not handle that. Like I couldn't start drinking at 7 a.m. You see some of those pictures of dudes passed out on like hole number 6, like laying on a hill.
I mean,
probably got there at 5 in the morning.
You can't drink all day if you don't start in the morning.
This is true. The wise words of Drake in one of his rap songs.
Did he say that?
It's actually, yeah, he did, but he didn't obviously create that, but he did say that in the
I didn't know that.
What else with the Ryder Cup? I mean, I was gonna say. So when it was at Hazeltine, did you ever go to a practice run or anything when it was here in Hazeltine?
No, that was actually around the time we had met. Because you're like, yeah, I'm going, and I'm like, no, I gotta work. And then like the one day that like I had off, it was like stupid hot.
Was it?
Yes.
Because it was. Oh, okay. Because I went on my wife and I went, I want to say a Wednesday or Tuesday. And the reason why I did a practice run so I could take pictures, because obviously at that point you could bring your camera. So I got a lot of awesome pictures. Got to see Tiger up close and personal. I mean, he's walked right by me. Rory, Ricky, got a lot of pictures. But I would love to go to a actual match like Thursday through Sunday. But I would have much rather been able to like see them walk the course and just kind of enjoy it and embrace it and just have fun. But that would be my one, like, not take back, but that's the one thing I wish I would have done is booked a practice round and bought a ticket for the actual match, because I could that atmosphere is just got to be crazy.
Well, and the cool thing, like with the Ryder Cup, is that they're not getting cut. You go to any kind of tournament or whatever, and like, that's I really want to see DJ like at the 3M Open. Everyone's like, I want to see DJ, and then DJ got cut, and then you're like, oh, well, now I can't go see DJ. Where at least you go to the Ryder Cup, you're like, cool, I'm gonna see Tiger, I'm gonna see Rory, I'm gonna see Sergio. It's like you're gonna see your favorite as long as your favorite's participating, which I think is super cool. It's very fan oriented, and I wish they did it more, but it's fun when it happens. But I don't think it should be blown out proportion.
I will say that, and maybe it's just kind of like some of the groups that I followed during the practice round, everyone was very friendly, but I will say that I think Team Europe was definitely a lot more fan oriented and like I don't know if I'm looking for the right word, but absorbed like the crowd, like they soaked it all in and they took advantage of that, kind of like how they did here in Wisconsin. I mean, once the crowd was there, obviously everyone's going to cheer for Team USA, but they did. I hate the Packers. We all know that. So do you. But like they show up in like cheesehead hats, which like, that's actually a really good way to try to embrace the culture. I mean, you're in Wisconsin, you're in Cheeseville over there. And that's, if there's one way to win over some sort of fan there, that's probably the right way to go about it, especially if there's people from Wisconsin there, which I'm sure there was a lot of them.
Well, I'm sure it's more fun for them versus Team USA, who, might, be from Wisconsin or might have been there before. How often do you think Sergio gets to Wisconsin?
Besides them practicing for the tournament, probably not very often.
Probably never. So you're like, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's super cool. That's kind of where I think Europe probably has more fun with it, because they get to interact with fans that they probably haven't been able to interact with before, or fans haven't been able to interact with them before.
That is true. I think that and I don't know if it's because it's in Europe, but I feel like going back to the whole fans, I feel like it's a little bit different, because American fans can get pretty crazy, obviously, as we all know. And I know, like in Europe, soccer fans or football fans, if you want to call them in Europe, are even crazier from what I've heard. But I don't know if the same is true with golf. I think it's more of technically a gentleman's game over there as well, still, which technically it is. So I don't know if they're
from the little bit of Ted Lasso that I've watched, if that show represents any of the football fans over there, or even to some extent, they might be crazier than we are.
Oh, I think they're way crazier, to be honest. There's
and that's not a bad thing. They bleed.
No, it's awesome.
They bleed for their team.
You need to. There's an article, and I can't. I don't want to tell the whole story, because I don't know I don't remember it specifically, but it was about Matt Damon traveling to Europe. And I want to say somewhere in Italy, but he went to a football game out there, and he said it was like literally like the craziest / scariest thing. But he was saying like it's something to witness if you're not from there, because it was that wild. But if you Google it, you'll read the story, and it's kind of a crazy story, which kind of puts it in perspective of like how like crazy some of those soccer / football fans are over there. I mean, we're crazy, but that's a whole nother level. And so I don't think the European side of golf fans are nowhere near that level, because again, I think it's more of a kind of a gentleman's respect portion of the game. But I do if I went there, I would love to see them heckling me, not not calling out abusive things about family kind of stuff, but I would like to see them talk smack. I think that would amp me up even more, you know what I mean, kind of get me going. But we'll see. That would be sick though, depending on what it's like. If it's in Rome, Italy, that would be pretty awesome to go to.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, it's something we'll look into. Probably outrageously expensive and probably won't happen, but hey, it doesn't hurt to look.
You'd be surprised.
Yeah.
Because sometimes at work I get bored, and I like to look at those bundling sites for flights and hotels.
Oh, I love doing that.
You can do Italy pretty cheap. I bet you the expensive part is eating all the time, because you're gonna say no to food all the time.
Can't do that. Yeah, you gotta eat as much food as you can.
Yeah, just give me a pizza. I'm in.
Oh, pizza and pasta, man. Hell yeah. You know what's depressing? Is that I have not about that too. I have not picked up a golf club and played golf since my Phoenix trip. Now that is sad.
I haven't played for longer because I hurt my back. I actually put my golf clubs away.
You have a good excuse though. You legitimately hurt your back. I mean, you don't want to make it worse. I legitimately don't have an excuse. I'm just being late. Well, I mean, I'm busy, but I mean, there's still time I could find a way to play, and the weather has been so nice.
I know, that's why I'm sad.
Yeah.
Now I don't have a car.
That sucks too. So what do you do?
What do you mean?
You just walk. You walking everywhere? Getting a lot of steps in or what,
walk
bro?
uphill to work. No, I feel like I'm in high school again, being dropped off and picked up everywhere.
Sometimes that's awesome. You save a lot of money on gas and everything else for a little while, and you're like, oh. But no, I know you're kind of like inconveniencing everyone.
I feel like such a burden because it's like, hey, can you come get me? And I'm like so far out of everybody because I work in somewhere else.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't know. It's weird because it's like I don't like to ask for help or anything because I'm pretty self-sufficient, I like to think. But it's like, hey, I need a ride. And then you're like, oh, I just feel so bad. But yeah, hopefully soon. But yeah, I've been pretty lucky that my parents have been pretty flexible.
They've been very accommodating. Parents of the Year award goes to them, it sounds like.
Yeah, it depends on the day.
my both of my cars are too piles of junk. They get me to point A to point B, but that's about it. Right now, we're in the process of potentially getting a newer vehicle. But
oh god, that one got just smells like it's like lived in a weed field its entire life.
Yeah, I have no idea. I said my father and I tore the whole thing apart, and I feel like one day I'm gonna get pulled over and I'm gonna like get sent to prison, and I have no they're gonna be like, I have all this grass somewhere, and I have no idea.
The dogs are gonna go nuts.
Yeah, seriously. But hopefully next week we can do a live from the Safe Park Golf headquarters, and then we can hit up the old run-ins and get some wings like we were supposed to do this week.
And you know what sucks is we have 2 mics now.
I know that, dude. My mic is sitting right there, and it's sitting in a pretty box, and I'm waiting to use it. I can't wait.
I'm excited.
Next week, man. Me too. Next week we're gonna get some wings, and then we'll record. Hopefully, that's the plan.
And I'll eat all. Oh, no, I can't talk. I'll eat all your. Oh, eat all your fries.
Like what? Oh my goodness!
I gotta
drink some water, bro.
I gotta drink some water.
I passed it on to you, man. I couldn't talk. I had to pass it on. Yeah, wings, some fries, maybe some brewskis. We'll see. But running sounds really good. I haven't been there in so long.
The unofficial thinking spot of the pod.
Yep, we'll jot out some ideas. We do have a few other people that are potentially going to be on the podcast here soon. I definitely want to next week have our own episode again, just because we want to test out our new mics, which would be awesome. Well, we'll have 2 mics, so we can kind of just it'll be fun.
I do apologize if anybody was supposed to be on today and then I inconvenienced it, but
nope. I think we were good. We've talked about a few in the near future, but nothing was planned specifically.
Okay, I thought we had one this week, but
there was a chance, but except things come up, and that's what so no worries at all. I'm just glad we were able to kind of make it work.
Well, yeah, it's 2021.
It is. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's kind of hard to find like an excuse to not record.
It'd be kind of cool to have like 2 paper cups and a string. And then we could
old school days.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually considering getting a flip phone here pretty soon.
Hey, it's only a matter of time for Apple brings it out, and then they claim that they're the first.
They're talking about it. Yeah, I know. I've heard.
But Samsung already did it.
Let's see. They said the iPhone 14 is going to be a totally complete different design, which I'm assuming they're probably talking about that, but they haven't really said. To be honest with you, I just want a phone that works. My phone's paid off. It works. The only thing that I get annoyed about is it's brand new phone. No, I love iPhone. I love it. I know we're going to have this debate, and I know we can go back and forth because I have some buddies that hate Apple, and I have buddies that absolutely love Apple. So it's really just what your preference is.
If you notice, my phone's never broken.
That's true, but you also have a really nice case on it, right?
No. It's just
you don't have a screen protector or anything?
No.
Really?
No, there's no screen protector on this.
Oh, I thought there was.
No.
Well, that's your fault. But okay, we're not really gonna get into it because we don't have to, but we don't have time. We don't have time, okay? And then we're not. This is not an Apple. This is not a Microsoft, a Windows, anything type of push by anything. But I will say that Apple is definitely, I don't want to say more boring, but
They're boring.
But they're more solid as far as like I've never had like any real technical issues with my phone ever. And like before, and I know this was back then. I know there's so many more newer phones out there for like different phones. So like that's my thing. Like you can make fun of like the Apple phone that comes out once every so often, but I feel like literally there's so many Droid phones that come out like once a week. And I had like 2 or 3, and it would always continually it would glitch out constantly. And again, your phone's probably fantastic, and I probably would like it, but it's like I got to the point where I was like so sick of having a phone that like never ended up working, and they were supposed to be like top of the line phones at that time, right? And again, I'm old now, so like it was several years ago, but I made that transition. I made that transition. I started with getting an iPod, and I liked my iPod. And then all of a sudden now I was like, well, why not just get an iPhone? And then I never had any issues. But the one knock I will say is that the screen itself, like you got to put a protector and a nice case on it. Otherwise you're playing with fire.
I mean,
that's my take.
Up until a few years ago, Apple screens were old Samsung screens.
Yeah, okay. You know what other take that I hate?
Oh no.
Now you got me started. Okay, this is what I hate. Apple has their cool commercials, whatnot, whatever. Every time I see a Windows commercial or would you call it Microsoft commercial? Not a Windows commercial, Microsoft commercial.
Yeah.
The only thing that they do is bash Apple. Like they show their part and they bash because they know that Apple's number one. And it bothers me the fact that they have to like every commercial that they create, they have to bash maybe not even the number one, but their competitor. And you never see that in an Apple commercial. And it really bothers me.
The hard part with Apple is they used to be super innovative, right? Like they were the first people I can remember to mass market and mass produce a smartphone that was like revolutionary, right? Mm-hmm. However, a lot of things that Apple now brings to market are things that have already been on phones for a long time. Like the dual.
Is that the reason why they like try to like bash Apple? Because I agree with you. Yeah, they're not like I feel like they are behind on some of those things.
Does your phone have that MagSafe stuff where you can like click the magnet to it or whatever and it'll like stick?
I don't think so.
Apple uses MagSafe now, which was something that I think Motorola was doing like way back in the day, because you could buy these like juice packs and just stick them to the phone, or you could turn your phone to a speaker just by sticking it to the phone. And now Apple's doing it, and it's like, oh, it's revolutionary. And you're like, well, no, Motorola was doing it. Or, now with the dual cameras, well, that's been around a long time too. Mm-hmm. There's nothing Apple's really been doing that's innovative. But Apple was like a juggernaut of innovation. Like everything they brought to market was fantastic for a long time.
But maybe that's why they're some of their
kind of like golf, right? Odin said it best. There are all these golf ball brands, but realistically they all do the same thing, right? It's just which one do you feel like represents you the best?
That's true.
As you say something about brands, you and I both love Cobra. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with TaylorMade or Callaway, but I tend to gravitate more towards Cobra. Like my favorite golf ball is a Callaway, not even a Titleist.
But that's what I'm saying. Like you don't bash TaylorMade or Callaway because you rock Cobra, unless you really didn't like it. And that's what bothers me in those commercials. Every commercial is like, yeah, I got, they compare on Apple, and it's like, I get it. Like, I understand because
in a way,
I'm not saying that I don't. Yeah, it is, but it's like they almost have to compare the Apple products so that they can like that, because that's really their number one competition. Whether they're like ahead of Apple or not, it's like they always make it seem like that. That's what I'm trying to say. I mean, like, they could be ahead of a lot of things, but it's like, why can't you just make your own commercial and
be on with it? You hear it all the time with Apple users, though. It's so much better than an Android, or I can never use an Android. And like in a lot of ways you are. Your pull down menu that has all your notifications, that was an Android thing. You being able to turn your phone sideways and text with your thumbs, that was an Android thing. The multiple cameras was an Android thing. So in a way, you just have a rebranded Android device.
That might be the reason why, though. I think Apple maybe has done a good job on, maybe they've kind of copied things like that, but they've also like took the time before they released it to like make it like more what's the word I'm looking for?
Refined.
Like solid or refined. Yeah, because we said I had a couple of Galaxy phones. They had so many cool, like all these different things you could do, but 70% of the time it would work. You know what I mean? And that was just like my experience with it. I'm not trying to bash
it's
your
like
phone or my phone.
It's like the Anchorman quote: 70% of the time it works 100%.
Yeah, 70% of the time, every time. But no, it's a hot. I said I didn't want to turn into a hot take. We turned into a hot take. But I don't like bashing when that uses like your phone. I like your phone. I don't like. I'm not saying like it's not that I don't like it. It's the fact that I had a Droid phone and I liked it, but it didn't last. And then I had my Apple phone, and I've honestly, there's people that buy the new phone, upgrade the new phone once a year, and it's like I don't really do that. I've only upgraded my iPhone probably 3 or 4 times, like since probably like 5 times since I started. Like, but I got into the Apple later than most people, right? So it's like I like it. It works for me. So the only thing I don't like is they definitely upped their technology on the battery, but the battery thing was a big issue with them, obviously, from what everyone, that's stupid.
An issue with everything though, right? Like I wish my laptop would last longer. I wish, X, Y, and Z would last longer, but
yep.
I mean, that's just kind of the world we live in.
That's true. And then the only other knock is like the screen. Like I think they originally talked about how it's like helicopter glass. I'm thinking like, I sure hope it's not helicopter glass, because man, you barely even freaking drop it and it's gonna crack. And you don't want no helicopter.
You drop it on the softest pillow in the world, and then it cracks.
Yeah, like, how is this? Yeah, so that's definitely my other knock. But I mean, honestly, it's whatever your preference is. But I don't know. I guess we could go on and on about it. But I like your phone too. I like my phone.
I don't like
it's simple. Phone. It's not. There's nothing to it. You got apps. I can swipe. I can find my apps. I got this lady named Siri.
You don't even know her name.
I got her name Siri. Don't need to use her very often, but I got her.
I don't like your phone. You gave me your phone to like use the GPS or something, and I, for the life of me, could not get out of the GPS because it froze.
It froze?
Yeah.
I find it hard to believe.
Because it might have been me trying to like close out of it, and it like quit working, and I was like, "How do I close this?"
It probably realized that the fingerprints, they detected DNA that you use a Droid phone. They're like, "Who is this guy? This is not an Apple fingers.
This isn't Derek."
It's revolutionary technology. It's for security purposes.
It's probably your little FBI agent in your phone.
That's probably what it is. Okay, so any new restaurants or food that you've had? I know you obviously have had limited in your car, but have you tried anything new since the last episode?
I had I found out my new favorite flavor for wings are.
What's that?
Honey sriracha.
Honey sriracha. Okay.
Honey sriracha.
I have never had that flavor. Where'd you have them?
There's this place. It's Just Wings, and they do like wings and you get curly fries. You ever heard of them?
Yeah, I've heard of them. Yeah.
Oh,
I think I've had some before, but not that flavor, obviously.
They're bomb. I like to do the boneless wings at work because I don't make a mess. But you get like a bunch of wings and then like a bunch of curly fries.
You know what? I don't think I have that. I'm thinking of Wingstop, or not Wingstop. What's the new one with the green logo? Is that Wingstop?
I think so.
Okay, so it's called It's Wings?
Just Wings.
Just Wings?
It's Just Wings.
Okay, I'll have to look that one up.
My favorite one is the honey sriracha. They have a teriyaki pineapple one or something, and it's really good. It's like Hawaiian themed.
That sounds pretty good. Where is this out of?
I don't know. I had it on DoorDash.
Okay.
Yeah,
there is a place that we need to order some food in sometime. It's by my work, and it's kind of one of these little places that it's called Wendy's House of Soul.
Oh, I thought you were just gonna say Wendy's.
No, yeah.
Yeah, it's the place with the girl.
Yeah, she it's in North Minneapolis, and I'm just gonna send you a little a message here on Insta. But my boss ordered some of their food. They got these crazy like burger sandwiches. They're called soul burgers, I think.
Oh
And
my
then
God.
they have their jerk wings. They have hot jerk wings.
Is that what these are?
I think so. Yeah, you can kind of go through their whole thing. They got some crazy good stuff, but they give you like this big portion with fries and everything. The Caribbean jerk wings. I mean, they're so spicy, but they're so good. And then they have like this deep fried like macaroni and cheese sandwich that looks amazing. I haven't tried it, but this place is like. Oops, sorry, scrolling through a page here.
Okay, it's
but yeah, it's a place that we definitely have to try out. I said I had that wing, and he just offered me one, and I probably could have ate like the whole batch. They were so good. They were spicy, but they were like quality, man.
I want to take it to that taco place. I can't remember the name of currently, but they're pretty bomb.
Yeah, you should try that out.
Centro. That's what it is.
Centro.
I wonder if they're on Instagram.
You know, actually, I just got a email from our
they are
place here that we are supposed to have this like taco truck here coming up, and I'm hoping it's on a Monday at our apartment here at the complex. They do a taco truck different places every so often, and I got an email earlier. I was just trying to find it real quick and see, because I think it's on a Monday, which would be legit, because we could try that out and maybe do a little
taste test.
Yeah. Sorry. Oh, here we go. Oh, never mind. It's not.
Well, what day is it on? Because maybe we can make an exception for tacos.
No, I read it wrong because I just read the subject line, so it was my fault. It actually said it's like the walking taco, so they're like hosting it for the residents, which that's
like a bag of Doritos.
Yeah, which is nice that they're offering it, but I was hoping it was like a food truck, but so I got excited for no reason. But well, hopefully episode. What are we on? Are we on 8? This is 19, 18?
18.
18. So 19.
Right? Is it? Have we been wrong the whole time?
No, hopefully not. I'm pretty sure we're on episode 18. Said that we don't know.
No, we're on 19.
19. Okay, good. Yeah, so we'll make 20 special one. We'll get some food, do some taste testing, maybe a little Monday Night Football.
Yeah, who's playing next week?
Monday Night Football?
Because I know tonight is Dallas.
Yeah, they're playing right now. And the Eagles.
Oh, gross.
Next Sunday Night Football is going to be legit, though, as far as it's the Bucks and the Patriots.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, because Tom Brady's gonna overtake Drew Brees.
Yeah, let's see what next week we have. Well, it should be a good one, actually. It's going to be the Las Vegas Raiders versus the LA Chargers.
Ooh.
Both of those stadiums are so sick, by the way.
Oh, the Raiders is so cool. SoFi is like just a marvel.
Which one?
Chargers.
Yeah, it looks like a something from outer space, man.
Yeah, I mean, for what they spent on it, they should be.
Mm-hmm.
I think they said it was like $5.6 billion.
That's wild. That's crazy.
I know, it makes ours look like a piece of junk.
Well, yeah, because ours was about $2 billion, I think. 2.1, I think.
Something like that.
Yeah, which I wish they would have done like a retractable roof.
Yeah.
Something kind of cool. I mean, I like the look of it, but it's starting to get back.
I wish Target Field would have done that too, kind of like how Miami or whoever does it, just something.
Just especially with the weather, you just never know.
Yeah. I mean, it could be like 95 and then it could snow. You don't know.
You just never know. Well, all right, brother. Well, so it was nice to have this episode. I'm glad we could still make it work. Hopefully it doesn't sound too shoddy. It sounds pretty good to me.
I guess we'll probably find out when this comes out.
If it is bad, you can blame it on my Apple AirPods and my Apple iPad.
if it's bad, nobody will ever hear it.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. All right, brother. Have a good night. And episode 20 will be next week. That's awesome. 20 episodes, bro.
Yeah.
That's sweet.
Yeah.
Maybe 20. we could I don't know. We'll have to do something kind of cool. Maybe we'll do like a giveaway or something.
Yeah.
Try to figure something out.
Yeah, we do stickers or whatever, and I'm sure we
got some hats and stuff, and some other stuff. So, all right, brother, sounds good. Well, everyone, thanks for listening. Hopefully, it doesn't sound too bad, and we'll see you guys next week.
See ya.
All right, later.